Yo, so 30 days run challenge. Should you do it or not? I mean, you should definitely do it. You should definitely do it. If you want to change who you are or who you want to be, I mean, I would say you change who you are by starting a 30-day run challenge. That is seriously. I mean, it affected me a lot and it helped me develop also in a lot of different ways. So, I'm going to be sharing a few points with you. I hope it answers most of your questions, and I hope it helps you do the 30-day run challenge. Right. So I'm here where I started first. Right started my first 10 days. This is where I started in a ground right here. I used to do like 3 rounds of this place for the first 6 days, I think. Then I started developing. So, the number one thing, the number one most important of all, it's like the one at the top. If you have this is like the roots, the basis, the everything that you have to start with, which is to believe. You seriously have to believe in what you're doing, what you want to do. Like, a lot of people give up right before they start, and that's just very wrong. You shouldn't do that at all. Don't give up before you start. Don't say just because someone else did it, I can't do it. He did it because he's faster, he's slimmer, he's all other excuses. Just it doesn't just work out. All right, so just believe in yourself and go for it. All right. So number two, I would say, is to start. All right, this is, I mean, it just sounds so simple, and it's like one of the most important things you should be focusing on, because if you don't start, you're never gonna go anywhere. Because a lot of people will start saying, I'm gonna do tomorrow, I'm gonna do it too. There's like no, there's zero excuses if you want to do this. Zero procrastination, zero delaying. There's just, you have to start right away. If you say, I'm gonna do it, you have to do it today. Start from today, because that's how I started. I actually, there was this my friend called Islam. He actually started this 30-day run challenge, and it sounded interesting, and this is where I committed myself to it. He was doing it. I think like 3 days ahead of me, and after those 3 days, I came here, and I saw it on the third day of his run, and I started mine just right away, just that same day. So that's how you have to start. All right, just start. Okay. So number three, I would say, is to do it for yourself. You have to do it for yourself and nobody else. All right, nobody else. I mean, in this world we're living in currently, everyone is trying to compete each other. All right, I'm gonna beat this guy, I'm gonna beat that guy, but eventually if you focus on others, you will never be able to, improve yourself. All right, so do it for yourself. Don't do it for anybody. Don't do it because I did it, and don't do it because someone else did. Don't do it to show that you're stronger or faster or than anybody. I mean, you could do it later on, in when the time is right, but initially don't do it for someone else. All right, just do it for yourself, for your own improvement and stuff. Right. So number four is, this might sound simple and obvious, which is to use music or use motivational audio or video, or something that pumps you up, something that elevates you, takes you to another level. That use some music that when you listen to, you like to jump around. It like changes who you are. I mean, for me, music changes me a lot. So I used some motivational videos which I downloaded from YouTube, and I converted them into audio, and I put them onto my phone. So I was listening to motivational audios, which helped me a lot, because there were scenes, there were some times where I almost gave up, but in the audio I was listening to, there came like high, something that just gave me that juice, that something that just vanished my pain away mentally, I would say. Yeah, but it helps a lot. You should use music, or music also helps. I've used music a couple of times. So music or motivational videos, you can use both of them. I'm gonna link some in the description if I can. You can check them out later. All right. So number 5 is one of the most important things. One of the most important is to picture your destination. If you want to do the run, it's very important that you map out where you're going, like the exact place. You have to like focus in your mind. You have to map out the way, the streets, the where you're gonna stop exactly. You have to like map it out exactly in your brain. Like I had very clear uh, vision, very clear mapped out way that I had to go, and I had to stop at a specific place. uh, First it was this ground. All right, I had to like go 3 rounds around this ground and stop at where I started. But then when I changed my route, which was to go all over this area, my sector, my area over here, so I had a very specific destination that I cannot stop before that current point. I can stop I mean, after that point, if I, feel if I want to improve myself more. But you can't stop before that. All right. So this is very important. You have to map out exactly where you're going, and follow the exact route, and stop where you said you're gonna stop, or go further if you can, but never before that. All right. So my sixth point is to never, ever, 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 ever give up. All right. This is another one of the most important things you should keep in mind, is to never, ever, 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 ever give up. Because a lot of times, while I was running, and I almost, I mean, you could say I was about to die. All right. Because when I was running, I had a few days where my stomach, it was like a knot in my stomach. I don't know what kind of feeling. That's the best way I can describe that. It was a knot in my stomach that, like, I don't know, jumbled up some. I don't know. It was just weird. And while running, it was getting more intense. And but I just believe that it's gonna go soon. I should just run, and I should not give up. And a few other times my legs were almost done for. I couldn't breathe, but I couldn't just stop before my stopping point. You just can't give up, right? You just can't give up. Right? It's just very important to never give up. Even if you're going slow, it doesn't matter. Just keep going. Don't give up. Just keep going. Even if you're going slow, doesn't matter. Just keep going. All right? Don't give up. Which brings me to my next point, which is to absorb energy from the surrounding. As it might sound a little bit weird to absorb energy from the surrounding, but it is very important. Because when you're running, it's not really about your physical being. It's about your mind. You have to focus on the mind instead of the body. Because in this one time, I was running, and I think it was like my 11th or 12th day. And as I was running, I was about to give up, and two things were affecting me very much. One, my legs were completely out of order. I mean, they couldn't do it anymore. It was just hurting very much. And on top of that, the app I was using, it started saying that you're going too fast, apparently, that you should slow down or you should stop. And at that point, those two things were very effective. I mean, I could have stopped if I listened to both my legs and my app. And I could have just stopped and take a break and go again, but I just couldn't do it. So I had to like absorb some kind of external, even though I was listening to some music, and I think at that point it wasn't very effective. So the app and my legs were affecting me at that point. So what I did was, where I was about to stop, all right, there were like a few girls on the footpath, and I it was very difficult, right? But I couldn't stop because I just thought it would make me look bad, all right? They were like, okay, look, he just stopped right here. I mean, for me, it was like a positive I absorbed an energy from, my mind to, like, get me to the extra 1 kilometer. So I couldn't just stop. I knew they were looking at me, but the girls. So I didn't stop, right, because I didn't want it to look bad. So I completed that 1 kilometer, uh, and I completed it. So it was something I did to get me to my point. So you can do whatever you want to get you to that point. So my last point is to set higher goals every day. Every single day you have to break your records. You have to set higher goals every day. It is very important to keep improving every day. uh, I can stress this, because if you keep to one, I mean, you're going the same distance every day. It's just, I don't think you're going anywhere. I mean, honestly, I don't think you're going anywhere. You have to keep breaking records, whether it's in speed, whether it's in time, whether it's how up you're going, how down you're going, how rough the area is, how fast you're going through that area. So all those things, and most importantly, you have to keep welcoming more challenges, because I didn't stop, whether it was raining, whether it was foggy, whether I didn't have my shoes. I even ran in my slippers. Whether it's extra cold, whether you don't have, even I have ran without music a couple of times because I didn't have my headphones on, so I kind of lost it. But there is just zero, zero, zero excuses. All right, and you have to keep welcoming more challenges, and you can do it, because I promise you, you're gonna feel that something different when you're done. You're gonna feel like you've accomplished something great. That's how I did it. Setting higher goals every day, and don't be afraid of setting higher goals. This is very, very important, because some days I would like break a record and I'll be worried, what if I can't break this record tomorrow? Because the day I did it was very challenging for me. So the next day I would think that this is going to be hard, but don't worry about that. Just focus on today. Try to break yesterday's record, and just do it. All right. So yeah, those are a few points you should keep in mind. Yeah. So I think those were like 8 points. One was believe, start, do it for yourself, use music, picture the destination, absorb energy from the surroundings, don't ever give up, and set higher goals. I guess that's it. Or one more. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. Yeah, so, and I really appreciate you guys watching this video and supporting me through my entire journey. I really appreciate all those supporting comments you guys were doing, and some of you called me a legend, some were calling me different things, and I must say I don't take that for granted at all. I don't take that for granted. Or if somebody calls me a legend, I act like one, and I got you, man. I got you. All right. So I really appreciate you guys watching this video. So thank you. I must ask, like, share, subscribe, and whatever. So see you.